the connected car. A lot of buzz around this, right? Saw a lot of write-ups before CES. What are all the car companies doing at CES? We're going to talk about that. But very important, right, is what's the opportunity? I mean, for all of you in the audience, you're saying, okay, Glenn, that's great, right? But what does this mean to me if I go develop for a car? So let me throw out a couple of stats. First stat is US-based, 16 million new cars a year. The second stat, 165 million cars that have OBD2 capabilities. OBD2 allows you to turn a car with a little help from a dongle into a connected car. And then if you look at the 63 million number, that's a number of new vehicles globally. So we, AT&T, view this 100% as a global opportunity, right? I will tell you, the automobile OEMs, others in the ecosystem see this as global, which is why I have a large developer opportunity, and I promise you we'll dig into that more. So, from an AT&T perspective, connected car. So where do you guys play? Everybody says, kind of, where do the carriers fit? I will tell you, early on, it was really just about connectivity. So if you look at this kind of up to 2013, we were having lots of conversations about how do we connect the car, right? What kind of module? What's the technology? We put LTE in the car. But that's changing, and changing rapidly. And by the way, I always hear, well, gosh, the automobile OEMs are kind of slow and not innovating. That's changing, and it's changing right now. If you look at this, you can see the other things that we're talking about moving beyond connectivity, right? Our partners are asking us to help them. And when you kind of look at this, you say, well, Glenn, I need a better example. And I think this is probably the best one. We view the car as a smartphone on wheels. That's where we're headed. All the things you want to do, all the things have happened in the smartphone world, all the incredible innovation and speed. I just said, you know, really the smartphone world born in mid-07, 08 when it really took off. And look where we are now. Look at this. These are the kind of things that we're talking about for the car. Connectivity, voice and data. 4G hotspots in the car so you can bring other devices seamlessly into the vehicle. Content, I mean all content. When, where, how, I want it, right? Infotainment, most people go, well, infotainment's just for the back seat. Infotainment's for the whole car. Obviously, we'll talk about safety and security and distracted driving, but this is about delivering what our customers want. Applications. Look, you will hear today from automobile OEMs that'll tell you they want an app store for themselves. They want apps built for specific models. They are seeing the future of allowing people to customize their vehicle, and it's going to be all about applications. Big data and diagnostics may be the biggest opportunity. Big data, all the things that come off a car, now that a car is connected, it's basically a driving smartphone, a driving computer, which allows us to look at diagnostics, allows us to be proactive with customers. So this is where we're headed. And this is what makes it so exciting for a company like AT&T because we're pretty good at the smartphone. With all of your help, it's grown and continues to grow. You heard David Christopher talk about the smartphone being the remote control for your life. This can be a better example of exactly where we're headed. So it's with my honor today, I'm going to announce, and this is actually going out with a press release today, that we're going to make public a couple of things. First, a new name and brand for the AT&T connected car business. Also, we'll be announcing a new platform that we will be bringing to market to go work with all the different partners in the automobile ecosystem. So AT&T Drive. As you can see from the tagline, transform the connected vehicle to mobilize life. This is about a customer's experience. By the way, you didn't clap. I'm all excited about this. Where's the clap? I want to very quickly thank David Christopher and his team, Esther Lee, who runs our brand. Really great work to help us with this because we feel it's very important as we go forward that we put a name around our platform. And now you're probably saying, okay, that's great, Glenn, but what does that mean? And I think I want to walk in. So what is it? Why would AT&T build this? What are they going to do with it? How are we going to work with other players with it? And this is really the most important points. We've gotten a lot of feedback from our partners in the ecosystem. Remember, you have the big OEMs that are tremendous partners. You have others that are building around the car inside of that vehicle. And they've told us, we need more help in just connectivity from you guys. right? The car will be a smartphone. You guys are good at that. You guys have apps. You have content, right? We have a great Uverse product with wonderful content. We have a great apps world. This is the best anywhere. You got to help us. It's got to be flexible, right? And modular. And what that means is that we can't have one fits for everybody. We have multiple OEM partners who need help in different areas. So our platform will be very flexible, very modular, right? With lots of partners. And then last but certainly not least, it's got to be customizable so these individuals can go compete, right? This is not about, if you probably can imagine, if you talk to the different automobile OEMs, this is becoming one of the reasons you buy a car, right? What has it got inside? What's it going to do for me? What's the safety and security? What's the infotainment? What does it do for my kids in the back seat? All of that is about competing, and we want to bring this together for them to help them to be simply the best partner in the business for the automobile OEMs and others in the ecosystem. We have a few pillars that are very important as well. Okay, first of all, it's got to be about the customer. It's got to be about an effortless customer experience, and that's not just in the vehicle, it's also what you bring into the car, whether that's your smartphone or other devices. Safety and security is paramount. Okay, you'll hear us talk about this over and over. Distracted driving, you know how we have been absolutely the leader in the industry with our It Can Wait campaign. And we've got to continue to find and use technology to make the car a safer place, a safer environment, a more productive environment than it is today. Innovation around advanced platforms and willingness to scale. We have to be able to scale big and fast, right? Like I said, the automobile industry is moving faster. They're seeing this technology as differentiator, so they're going faster and faster, and we have to be a great partner with them. And last but certainly not least, we have to have flexible solutions, right? And we've got to be seamlessly connected throughout the whole car. Because remember, our automobile partners may have multiple partners in that car, which is very, very important that we make it seamless for them and ultimately has to be seamless for the end user. So I stole a little phrase from Ralph, but wait, it gets better. Please run the video.
In the history of the automobile, there have been places where car technology was pushed forward. Test tracks, assembly lines, the offices of visionaries. Now, add a new place to the list. A place ready to be the very hub of automobile innovation. Welcome to the AT&T Drive Studio, where AT&T is inviting the world's most innovative companies and developers to come create the future of connected cars. Headquartered in Atlanta, the AT&T Drive Studio will engineer end-to-end, fully integrated connected car solutions, all in one location. It's a next-generation garage where we explore ideas, research possibilities, and develop technologies, all to enhance the driving experience by improving safety, diagnostics, entertainment, and security. The 5,000-plus square foot showroom was designed with collaboration in mind. Vehicle bays allow us to get under the hood and take our innovations from the whiteboard to the dashboard. Here, AT&T's connected car team can brainstorm with other auto experts from around the world. Inside our speech lab, cutting-edge research will be conducted on all aspects of safe driving, from advanced user interfaces to bringing natural speech recognition to life inside the car, allowing drivers to access their favorite applications while keeping their hands on the wheel and eyes on the road. As the first U.S. carrier to open a working innovation facility dedicated to the connected car, AT&T is proud to unveil the Drive Studio and to help create the future of connected cars.
So when you think about bringing out the Drive platform, and then you say, well, where are we going to go do with that? This is very, very exciting for us. As I'll go here, I want to jump into the next slide because what's really exciting about this is you all know about our foundries. The gentleman that started those is sitting in the front seat. John Donovan has already spoke to you today. This is about working hand in hand with the foundry. So we did put this in Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually just across and up the street from the foundry. So we can take very, very new, very, very fledgling opportunities and hopefully bring those from the foundry into the Drive Studio. But really important, this is about having a research hub for automobile innovation. It's about having the most innovative place anywhere focused on the connected car. It's about being able to go end to end, as the video said. It's about looking at integrated solutions and really physically putting them together and watching them work. It's about bringing all of our partners in and their partners and other partners and all figuring out how we get the car to the next stage of being connected. Also, the garage is where we're going to develop real technologies. The goal here is to physically build it, make it work, bring it to market. It's about also a focus on driver safety, right? It's about a focus. That's why you saw our voice lab in there. We believe that contextual natural voice is going to be a key component to the car. We believe this is where the car's got to go so you can keep both hands on the wheel and eyes on the road. And obviously, it's about collaboration inside the ecosystem. It's about us basically saying, look, we believe so much in the opportunity that we're going to spend dollars, we're going to put resources, and we're going to build this place to make and grow this business. It's also about these individuals. And these are our preferred partners. I want you to please give these folks a round of applause. Many of these folks are in the room. They were the first to raise their hands and say, I want in, I want to be a part of this. There'll be others. But really, what's really exciting is we now have a platform, Drive. We now have a place to go take the connected car to the next level. So next, I'm very, very proud. I've invited a few folks, very senior folks from the automobile industry to come join me on stage, right? And with the goal of talking about this and talking about where the car is going. So I wanted you to hear not just from AT&T, but from some of our great partners. So with that, I'm going to ask Mary from GM OnStar to come on upstage. I'm going to ask Ulf from Ericsson and Brian from Glimpse. Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, where I'm going to start is here. So I'm going to ask each of the folks to introduce themselves. I'm going to ask them to tell a little bit about what they do on a daily basis. And also, I want them to talk a little bit about what their vision is of the connected car. So Mary, I'm going to start with you.
Great. Thank you. Good morning. So first of all, GM created a business unit called Global Connected Consumers. And to the theme that Glenn had emphasized is really about the consumer experience and the solution behind that. The business unit is responsible leveraging the Connected by OnStar platform to deliver the connected services. And our focus is really working with partners like AT&T and other partners to create solutions around this whole connected car experience.
Thank you, Mary. Ulf?
All right, thank you very much. I mean, let me start, Glenn, by saying how extremely proud and happy we are at Ericsson to be part of this announcement and to be part of this fantastic event. In my daily job, I oversee Ericsson's development of the next generation networks. They're getting faster, lower latency, getting higher and higher in terms of performance. We're going through a global rollout now of 4G, which is absolutely fantastic. These networks make so many new things capable and of happening. And we see just a fantastic development in the machine-to-machine space. I think already a few years ago, we started to work with our machine-to-machine platforms, which is now developed into connected car and connected vehicle platforms, which I think provides this great opportunity. And we're very happy to say, together with you, and particularly for all the folks in the theater here, how much time and how much effort we're spending on opening up the networks, creating those APIs that makes all these new services being capable.
Thank you. Brian?
I'm Brian Trussell, the CEO and co-founder of Glimpse. We're a startup. We're a mobile application where if you want to let somebody see your real-time location for a set period of time, you can just pick a contact, you set a timer for, say, 10, 15, 20 minutes, an hour, And the recipient will get a link, and they'll be able to see your real-time speed and your destination of where you're at. So all those text messages and all those phone calls about where are you, when are you going to get here, have you left yet, I'm stuck in traffic, are now just a couple taps of a button to send a glimpse. So we started out as a mobile app. I think I'm probably here because we're one of the first mobile applications to successfully make this jump into automotive. So we're now integrated with Mercedes, with BMW, with Ford. I think right about now we're announcing a partnership with Jaguar Land Rover. Last night I was very excited to be part of the GM announcement and the connected car there where they've integrated Glimpse, and that opens up some really cool possibilities with this kind of always-on connected high-speed network that they've got.
Thanks, Brian. All right, so next question, Mary, I'll start with you again. So talk about the customer. You know, from GM's perspective, you know, where do you see the customer experience changing, let's say over the next couple years and 5 years out?
Sure. First of all, I think that the connections with the broadband data is going to bring a lot more opportunities to really differentiate not only just the driver experience, but really the passenger experience. Our mission is really around bring digital life into the vehicle and bring the vehicle experiences back into digital life. And for the developer conference here, I was here last year, a year ago, to open up the API from the vehicle side. We gave away a Chevy Volt and created a lot of excitement around application experiences. I think, Glenn, in terms of the user experience, there are a lot more things that you and I would not know sitting here in 2014 because the platform is just opening. We're also leveraging the AT&T Drive platform solution in terms of Jasper, one of the partnership there, to really allow us to give the flexibility of building different data services within that vehicle. So think about infotainment services, think about insurance services, and think about other things that you may want to do inside of that vehicle that we would be able to enable because of the platform that we're opening that up. And then I think lastly, the one thing that I really want to emphasize based on the knowledge that the lessons learned throughout our developer partnerships like Glimpse, we really collaborated in many areas in terms of the user driver experience. There are a lot of things that you want to do in the application space, bring that vehicle experiences back into digital life, bring that feature back into those applications and make that seamless. So I think those are some of the things that we are really working closely with partners to really further that user experience.
Great, thanks, Mary. So Ulf, let me change the question for you. Talk about, from Ericsson's perspective, how do you see developers developing around the car as we go forward over the next, call it, year or two?
Right, and I think, I mean, first of all, the whole journey that you, in your presentation, went from 1876 and forward, and I think we've been along all that journey. We're actually founded in 1876. But that into the smartphone and the tremendous change that the smartphone has brought about, and now we can see the car becoming like a smartphone. It's getting a software-centric environment. And the way that that coincides with the development of the networks, becoming more open, becoming capable of being programmable, and combining that will just unleash fantastic service development, we think, going forward. And we can't even dream up all the applications that are going to come from here, but we can at least make sure the networks are open enough and programmable enough to make them capable of doing this.
Great, thank you. So Brian, I'm going to ask you the question that they're all thinking. So how'd you do it? Talk about what it's like to develop in this ecosystem and how you've been successful and any advice you might have for folks here in the audience.
Well, I got to say, I wish that the AT&T Drive stuff was around a year and a half ago. You could have saved us a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It's, you know, jumping into the car space was a space we always knew would be interesting for our application from the day we were in the basement looking at it, going, wouldn't it be cool to be in cars? But it's like, yeah, do you know anybody in Detroit? No. Well, let's not do it then. Because to get into cars, even 2 years ago, right, you would have to have a team of biz dev people and technology folks, and then you could maybe go work with these companies to maybe get out in 4 or 5 years on the roadmap. It just wasn't a valid proposition. And so much has happened this last year and a half, really, in terms of being able to get into these platforms and let your creativity really get out there. If you were talking about the history, it made me think, you know, when you go back to PCs, it was a pretty fragmented market. Along comes Windows, puts a platform on there, and suddenly the creativity created this whole PC revolution. When you saw smartphones, if you go back even 10 years ago, you spent so much time as a developer with all these hardware platforms and all these things trying to get out there that you spent more time kind of testing and things than you did developing. Along comes Android and iPhone that created a platform. And now you're seeing a platform start to get created for the connected vehicle. And I think you're going to see an unleashing of the creativity and this direct access from these developers to the consumers they want to reach, which was really impossible 2 years ago, but now you can do. I think GM announced their portal for the development stuff, and you guys have a lot of services in addition to the connectivity. So I would say it's never been a time like now to be able to jump into that space because of that platform working. And I think if you look at the iPhone, it was a nice piece of hardware with some nice technology. The thing that made it what it is, and the thing that made Android what it is the applications and the developers that created the things on top of that. That's what made it from something really cool to something revolutionary, and I think that'll happen in connected car.
Right. Can we all give these guys a round of applause, please? Guys, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate it. So as you could see and hear from partners, GM, right, Ericsson, Glimpse, this is real. And so we're very, very excited to talk about it today. You will see all of our press releases come out.